3-Minute Spanish Course 5. Hola y bienvenido. Hello and welcome to 3-Minute Spanish Course 5. Aquí está el quinto curso. Here is the 5th course of the 3-Minute Spanish series. This course leads on perfectly from Course 4, and it contains lessons 36 to 44. It starts by building on the knowledge of talking about the past that we touched upon previously. Remember, in order to get the most out of the 3-Minute Spanish series, keep your study sessions short enough that you don't feel like Spanish is becoming a chore. It might be tempting to set aside a couple of hours to learn, but the best way to really acquire all the new knowledge is to give your brain time to process it, and that takes place in between lessons. In each lesson, you'll be learning lots of new vocabulary, linguistic structures, and useful information for speaking Spanish fluently. However, in order for all of this to find a home safely in your brain, you have to go away and think about it. It's much better to have a 3-minute lesson and then go away and process what you've learnt for the rest of the day than to sit watching videos for an hour and then feel so drained that you want to think about anything but Spanish for the rest of the evening. A new idea needs time to embed itself in your mind. When you learn something, the time afterwards, when you play around with the idea and try building your own sentences in Spanish, is when deep learning takes place. What will I learn in this course? In this course, we are really expanding our vocabulary and opening up huge new areas of the Spanish language. We'll be looking at new ways to use adjectives with the little word algo. We'll be looking at the useful word hay and its question equivalent, which also happens to be I, and we'll also get introduced to how to form questions in Spanish in general. FYI, it's the easiest thing in the world. We'll also be looking at lots of very useful adverbs that will add variety and depth to our language. Phrases like demasiado, mucho, and cosas para are great for opening up new areas of conversation. We'll also start to look at ways that Spanish and English differ. You can't always translate things word for word, and the past tense is a great example of this. We'll be looking at how English often has more than one way to say the same thing, which can sometimes cause problems when we're trying to work out how to say something in Spanish. The past tense, or more specifically the present perfect tense, is the tense that we're going to be looking at in depth in this course. We'll look at how to form it with regular verbs, we'll look at some common irregular verbs, and also look at the different things it can mean in English in the positive and negative. That's just a brief look at a few of the things we'll be learning in this course, but there will be much more. Happy learning!